Okay, we are recording.
Okay. So we'll call the meeting of the Sign Advisory Committee to order at 9:08 on September 1st, 2020. As a preliminary matter, this is Chris Young, Chair. Permit me to confirm all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Kevin Kuster.
Here.
Paul Wolf.
Here.
Okay, staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Kathy Flynn.
Present.
All right. And there are no anticipated speakers present. Good morning. This is the open meeting of the Sign Advisory Council being committed remotely consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment if necessary. For this meeting, for this meeting, the Sign Advisory Council is convening by video conference via Zoom as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that the meeting is being recorded and all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We're now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, remember to mute your phone when or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. After members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. All right, so we have, actually I have to pull up the agenda. Do we want to adopt the agenda for the meeting? Anybody want to make a motion for that?
So moved.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, Paul?
Aye.
And Kevin?
Aye.
Okay, we have, so that motion carries. We have no minutes to approve. And we are on to the first item, which is enforcement.
So, Mr. Chair, if I may, there was a citizen complaint brought before me about a home for sale. And I invited the applicant to discuss it. She just has some concerns regarding why she wants, or concerns related to COVID that she wanted to discuss with you. I'm trying to find the sign right now, but it's on the corner of, is it Washerman or Tashima and Surfside, Linda?
It's right in front of 41 Surfside Road,
Yeah.
sort of near the telephone pole of McLean Lane.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now. So while you're, sorry about that, guys.
So Linda, I apologize. I didn't identify you earlier. I didn't realize you were on the call.
It's okay. I was trying to get on the phone and the phone line didn't work. And then I finally got Zoom downloaded on my iPhone and I got that working.
Okay. So Kathy, what's the background on this? Was a notice sent?
No, I had called her. I was just trying to mitigate any violation. And so I just thought I'd call her and ask her if she could either remove it or to apply for it. And she wanted to discuss it with you. And for some reason, I can't find the email. This is not my, I apologize.
You want me to text it to you? The
I
picture?
don't, hang on a second. Can you eat? Oh,
I can try.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought it was on my jump drive, but it's not. So just give me a minute.
Chris, if you want, I can.
Yeah.
I send it to her. Oh,
Okay. So in general, I guess we could start the discussion if, for sale signs
Yes.
as a policy, we'll go down to members of the other members of the board here as well. But in general, those are prohibited by the guidelines. So I would say that it's it's a precedent that we have been willing to start allowing in the past. Paul, would you like to say anything?
no, I can just, it's basically a house for sale sign with a phone number on it.
Correct.
Yes, I believe. And there's a brochure box on a pole right behind the sign that says, please take one. With
Right.
advertising about the house from Jim Cooper, who's the real estate agent.
Okay.
My comments is that Jim Cooper should know better. He's been a real estate agent here for a long time and should have advised the homeowner.
Yeah, clearly that the real estate agents in general have been very good at sort of self-regulating, understanding the importance of the guidelines that they actually helped to draft originally. But this might be more of if we were going to direct a violation, it probably would be directed towards Jim, I think, or Cooper Real Estate at least, so that they're, aware that it is sort of off-premise advertising or it's just in violation of the guidelines.
So how could, I
so-
was wondering if you might consider if I change the sign to say something like this could be your dream home, and then it's not a for sale sign. It's a statement.
No.
We don't have any regulation over what a sign says.
Yeah.
It's a freestanding inappropriate sign.
Right.
I think also, before I forget, I noticed some open house signs pop up from Fisher, and those should be addressed
Right.
with Fisher.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should start this. I don't think we should let this start to happen, and we could have hundreds literally overnight.
Can I give some information and some
Sure.
comments? Okay, so when Kathy notified me of the citizen's complaint, I immediately went for a ride on Sunday afternoon and took pictures of various signs around the island, like slow for children, plastic things with children playing, alarm company signs, signs from Tipping Point that are in pretty bad array, that have been up for more than 2.5 years, signs that are politically motivated, and things that Pride and Black Lives Matters, things like that. And there are a lot of signs out there right now, Chris. And so we've been trying to sell our house since November, and we're getting pretty stressed about the difficulties with COVID and having open houses. And I also took pictures of like the Whaler, senior signs and things like that. There are flyers. And I just thought as a temporary measure, I could put something up to try to motivate awareness of my home being for sale. And that's all I'm trying to do. And I'm willing to petition and ask for some approval as a temporary measure, maybe say 90 days or something like that. There's the sign.
Yeah. And then here's the stand.
Right. And they're both in my property line.
Right.
Right.
So, oh, sorry.
Well, I think the difficulty would be simply setting the precedent, of course, and we can be sympathetic to everybody's situation right now, and especially given these unprecedented times. I'm just not sure where, as a committee, we could recommend to the HDC to approve something that the guidelines, our job is to specifically, well, to interpret the guidelines, whether an application complies or not. And, you know, because it's so specific about this, I don't know how we would be able to recommend approval. And I don't know what the best answer is for you. I'm just trying to, you know,
Exactly.
it would be hard to read the guidelines and see how we could grant an approval for that, or recommend the approval to the full board. And it is, as Kevin says, there's just obviously so many different real estate properties that are constantly for sale on the island that if one person can set up a little kiosk or post with brochures, and they happen, you're not,
And they're
alone.
all over.
One. Yeah, you're not the first one. You know, it's been brought to other realtors' attention in the past as well. And to the best of our ability, we try to keep the playing field level and fair for everyone.
Mr. Chair, if I may, are you all able to see, this is an email that Linda sent me yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Able to see this picture? This is of the census.
Yeah. All right.
Right, these are ones that she had sent. But
No, and there's no doubt some of the, you know, political signs we've been
right.
told we cannot. That's a freedom of speech issue that we just can't tread on. And then there's the fine line: is a sign saying, you know, keep Nantucket healthy and safe. Is that, where does that fall? It's hard to say. And obviously, there's signs now that we're not used to seeing. I think that the real estate aspect of it is what's probably most concerning, because that's a commercial enterprise. That's a you know, something that could be repeated by every other real estate agent. So we have to be careful with protecting the guidelines.
Right, and Mr. Chair, if I may, the town manager did update the sign council's website to reflect the new statement from the sign council, and also to add the political signs that they had advertised before, to provide some clarity to the public.
Yeah, thank you.
For freedom of speech. So that's currently on the frequently asked questions portion of the webpage. But so it's there because there was a lot of concern before about all the proliferation of signs for freedom of speech. So.
Right. I've been doing a little bit of speaking here. Does anybody else want to address anything? Paul or Kevin?
I would just say that it's highly unlikely that our group would recommend an approval. If she wants to submit an application, certainly can, and it'll go up to the board with a negative recommendation. And at that point, it's up to the HDC, and if the HDC votes one way or another, that can be appealed. But I don't personally think there's going to be a lot of support for this in the community.
Yeah. So where things are right now is that there hasn't been any violation notice sent.
No.
So in essence, there's a few different timetables that would play out, right? If a violation notice did get sent, then there would be a time period in which the response could be made. Response could be an application. And then we would, as Kevin said, write our recommendation and send it up to the board. So, and after which there would be the opportunity to appeal. So I think our most likely our decision will be based on the guidelines, and
Of course.
specifically say there's no, you know, they're not allowed. So
When do you meet again to review applications?
every Tuesday.
Okay.
I talked to Kathy about the deadline.
Process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kathy, is the deadline Wednesday for the following Tuesday?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can get it in by tomorrow. Definitely, if she wants to stop by the office. If not, if she could do it the following week, but I think that she would probably want to address it sooner rather than later, because it's a
Right.
time-sensitive issue for her. Yeah.
Right. I know I can address it by next week. I'm not sure if I can fill it in by tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, between the two of us, we'll work it out. How's that?
Thank you. All right. I appreciate everybody's review and consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Is that the last, that's the only item on the agenda, is that
That
correct?
is, yes.
Okay.
I know we just
personally- Okay. I might,
We
can
just
I
talked-
yield the chair to Kevin and sign off?
Well, then there wouldn't be a quorum anymore, so
Oh, well, so there's no official items to discuss, right?
there's nothing to discuss.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second,
Okay. Thanks, guys.
all right, thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye.